Continuing with the video, um, so now we've got some cool images. Now we can say, okay, code one, yeah, that's all I needed you for. I have a code two that I want to take a quick look at. Okay, we're not going to mess with him yet. That's not needed at the moment. But what we want to do right now is let's go ahead and build a function that displays our or writes. Let me say it that way. Writes our map and map grid to our screen, to that canvas gadget. Now, this is going to be a procedure that's called many, many, many times. So what I'm going to do is call it, let's see, procedure build map. Okay. And we can just close it off. Oh, that's good enough. Now we're going to need some stuff. Yes, I know. You could actually put that in here as a defined protected. If you're inside a procedure, it's probably best to use protected. That way, nothing outside can get to it, nothing inside can get to it, or only inside the procedure can mess with this. And you can have many of the same names. And like I'm going to create an X and a Y. And that's probably all I need. So what we're going to do is say, and we're going to jump over here and let's come over to 2D drawing, because what we're going to do is say, start drawing. Okay. And then we're going to say canvas output or canvas output. And now we need to give it our gadget name for our canvas, which let's see if we can guess this. So this is found gadget, FRM main. That's my page one of, oh yeah, he's called page one. Okay, FRM main, and look at that, there's canvas map. Okay, so what that's doing is saying, okay, telling the system we're going to draw to that canvas output. Now, here's the canvas that I want you to draw to. Now, the first thing you do when you do a drawing command is set the drawing mode. And I think that's just DRAW drawing mode. So there it is, yes. And then this is PB. Now, there's a whole lot of these. The most important one that you'll ever use, depending on how you use these things, is alpha blend and then default. Alpha blend is saying when I have PNGs, that style of image, and that's really one of the best ones to use because you can have pieces of your image that are empty, are null, so you see through them. The ability to stack different graphics on top of each other, that kind of thing. And Alpha Blend supports that beautiful. So if you had 12 different images, and let's think for a second, if we're going to be drawing a game map that's got units that are going to be stacked on top of each other in hexes, then, okay, what we're going to end up having here is multiple layers of our game map. And this right here is the bottom two. So we'll have units that sit on top of this. We'll have selection hexes on top of this. So, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So let's come down here and let's say stop drawing. So if you have a start, you got to have a stop. And then what we're wanting to do is say draw image, because we're going to draw our image. we're going to draw our map image, which is going to be image number, image ID, right? That's what it is. And we can then say our map is, wow, that was ingenious, map. Okay. Now, when you draw an image, you got to tell them where you want it to start. What is the upper left corner? Okay. So we're going to draw our image. And then what we want to do is on top of that image, we're going to draw our grid, right? So this is map grid. Okay. But sadly, we are not done with this at the moment. So we've done this, we've written to there, and our canvas will magically resize for us. But that SA graph guy is not going to resize. We have to set all of this. And personally, I include setting the canvas gadget. So I resize gadget, and we're going to use, let's go ahead and set the canvas. Now I believe he does this magically for us, but I don't like magic things. So we're going to say pound PB ignore. And we're going to just put a few of these. So that's X, Y, whoa, don't hit that key. And we'll have W and H. Okay. So what we're going to do is replace these last two with image height. And then you're going to be image width. And then we can paste in our image that we've already loaded. So now we have resized our image. Great. So he's going to start wherever I started him, which happens to be at 0, 0 inside the scroll area. So now what we want to do is set the inside of that scroll area to these same basic coordinates. So that is done. And let's go ahead and come over to help, and let's go to, I don't know, let's jump over here to Gadget. And I need this bigger because my old eyes don't see as good as they used to. Let's see. Scroll area gadget. There we go. So we come down here and it's got all kinds of stuff in here on scroll area. So we have a get or set gadget attribute of inner width and inner height. So let's come down here and say set gadget at set GET attribute actually ought to be about there. Okay, now we're going to need the name of our gadget. I went ahead and copied him. And now we need image width. So we'll come in here and put in image width. And then we have our scroll area gadget. Let's go ahead and find him. I'm going to go ahead and start with this. And we can come back here and start typing scroll area, and there he is. So we're going to set that. And so we've got our inner width set, and then we can set our attribute, and we change our attribute to height. Okay. And then we change this guy to say height. Okay. So at this point, let's see what we've done. we've loaded up our images into our enumerators, and we have a function all ready to be called to build our map. All right, so let's come down here and let's just for grins, we'll open our screen. We'll call our build map function, and then let's take a look at where we get to. Hopefully not an error, but yes, we have an error. What don't you like? Constant now. Oh, I renamed him game map. Ah, I was thinking that was weird. Okay, no problems. Um, Map is a reserved word. So I'm going to do a change all. And for those who didn't see me type that, change all or replace in your IDE here is a control H. So we're going to say everything that's game map as a whole word, we want to change to from map to game map and just replace them all. So it looks like he found 5 of them. And okay, that should take care of that. Now, map, and the reason that I did that, I remember now. Map is a what other language call a dictionary, where you can actually, it's a thing in PureBasic, and it's a very important thing. We'll be using it in this project at some point. Uh, so to not confuse the world here, we're going to refer to our game map as our game map, and then we have our game grid. I see I changed that one too, didn't I? So map grid is gone. And that way, I guess it makes sense because we have a game map, we have a game grid. Let's get our naming structure to make sense. Okay, so that should hopefully get us to compile. Not a lot of code here written so far. And that's one of the things I truly love about PureBasic. It doesn't take a billion lines of code for objects to be created and such. Oh no. He's writing our game image ID game map. What don't you like? Image is not initialized. Yes, you know why, don't we? Boy, does that make sense. We never called our load images. Okay, you gotta love compilers. They don't have a sense of humor. Uh, so let's go ahead and call our load images, and now maybe we'll get, hey, look at this. We kind of have something. Wow. Not really what I was expecting. I'm not sure what we got in here. That's kind of cool. Okay, well, not what I anticipated. Let's come and let's go see. My guess is going to be it's going to come down to game map. Okay, I can see I'm going to have to figure this out and get back. Our problem ends up being twofold here. First, in the obvious one that, okay, I'll admit defeat. Canvas maps do not automatically resize, and I put the image in before I actually resized the canvas. So actually, the image ended up being the size of the canvas before resizing. Okay, so that's one. The second one is that I looked up Canvas output, and Canvas output comes down and says, hey, there's no alpha channel in Canvas. Alpha channel is that invisible layer stuff for alpha blend. So what we have to do is change how this works. And toward that end, we're going to come up here and I'm going to copy that whole block. And I brought in our work image and I'm going to call image free. Image free is my static command to check and then free the image should it be an image. Okay, so come on, come up. You can get there. Okay, so here's the image free. And I know I've mentioned this before. If you control double click a procedure name, it'll jump you to the procedure. So image free, the actual command is free image. And if you free image an image that already is not an image, then it's an error. So you always have to validate that you have an image before you free it, and thus this function. So I got tired of typing those 3 lines 5 million times. So we're going to make sure that our work variable is clear. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to write to that image. Okay, so this is image output. And all of this is going to come here. Images have the alpha blend. And then down here, we're simply going to draw our work image to the canvas. And that will fix the canvas. But we have to create the image. So let's come up here and say create image. And create image is width, height, depth is going to be 32. And I recommend always, let's go to create image. Did you jump to create image? Oh no, I must have. Oh, it's just, all right. Okay, so, and see this back color of PB image is transparent. Now, there's a whole list of PB something transparent. You can real quickly get that messed up with another one because I believe there's a 2D drawing transparent. But no, you need image transparent. So our width and height, we can just get from here. Okay, so we'll put those in here. So we have create our image, our work image. Image width is our map. Image height is based on our map. And then we come down and say, okay, draw the map, draw the grid, close drawing, stop drawing. Now let's gonna write here. And then we can, that should work. And magically, that should fix the whole world for us. And then we can get to the fun stuff. Okay, now pop up here, and there we go. We now have a game map, and that looks pretty doggone good, I think. So what we're going to do in the upcoming video is let's make this to where we can size our screen, and everything sizes lovely. And I also want to track the cursor across the map, but not return the cursor XY. I want to return the row and column. So that in a hex is kind of challenging. So that will conclude this particular video, and I look forward to you on the next one. See you later.